Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you so much. And one more time, also, thank you for all of you who joined this webinar. I'm just going to share the presentation and just please let me know with your thumbs up or nodding your head. Can you see is it visible? Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, okay. So we are going to talk about empathy through nonviolent communication. And I will share with you my intention for this webinar. And let me do this as a whole screen so it's better visible for you. So these are the words of Marshall Rosenberg, who developed nonviolent communication. And I would like to phrase my intention for this webinar with his words, actually. So what he said is that what I want in my life is compassion, a flow between myself and others based on a mutual giving from the heart. So this is the intention of this webinar and also of our work together with the foundation, with Mudita. Our intention is to really nurture relationships, to co-create the world based on the relationships that are filled with empathy, with dialogue, with partnership, with authenticity, with honesty. And so we can really co-create the place where we are giving to each other from an open heart, that we are caring about each other. So that's the intention. This is why we are holding this space here for you. And we would like now you to invite you to think about, like, what is your intention? Why you came here? And it can be absolutely anything, because you know someone from here and you wanted to connect and you wanted to see the face of this person. Or maybe somehow the word empathy is resonating with you, or it's calling you because of any reasons. Just please, if you would like to share in the chat, like, what is your intention? What gift would you like to give yourself today while being here? So you can write it in the chat. And I'm really curious about that. And at the same time, I really want to take care of the time. So maybe you are writing something in the chat. And meanwhile, I'm going to share with you something about me. Here is a picture of me taken, I think, actually like 44 years ago, I can imagine. And I put this picture here because whenever I talk about myself and what I do in my life is actually to connect to my biggest dream. The dream that I am pretty sure that I already had when this picture was taken. I'm not sure if I was aware of that dream. Maybe it was not that conscious at that time for me, but I can really relate to myself, to my little one self, that really dreamt about the world that is based on empathy, that is based on dialogue, in which we can be all honest, authentic, ourselves, that we can really connect to our deepest truths that we have, and that we can connect to the truths of others. So that's why I put my picture here, and to tell you that what I do in my life is to fulfill my dream. And let me check what is in the chat. I'm currently taking a pranayama course, in which our teacher introduced bits of NVC. Oh, thank you, Ivana. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I am fulfilling this dream of a better world, of a world that is holding all of us, and there is a place for all of us. First, as a certified trainer of nonviolent communication, but also as a coach, as a mediator, as a certified trainer of EduScrum, as also a practitioner of resonant healing, which is an approach that is combining nonviolent communication together with the work of Sarah Payton and the knowledge of interpersonal neurobiology. And it's a deeper work to heal our wounds and our traumas. I also work as a mind sonar analyst and also as an academic teacher. And I fulfill my dream of this world based on dialogue, empathy, by supporting individuals, teams, leaders, couples, organizations in building their personal and also professional relationships based on those qualities that I was mentioning before. And I work in different settings. I really love people, and I love being where people are, and especially people who long for more nurturing relationships. So I support NGOs, public institutions. I work with teachers in education. I also work in business setting, in healthcare. Yeah, I'm simply where people are. That's where I am. So that's about me, and this is our path. And I put the picture here that was taken a little bit more than 2 weeks ago. And when I was thinking about path, I just had this image in my head. It was the picture, it was taken during the project that Mudita was actually organizing, and it was about also nonviolent communication, but a bit more about embodiment of nonviolent communication, embodiment of empathy. And yes, this was the path. And our path for today is, first of all, we are going to talk about empathy. What is empathy actually in nonviolent communication? And how can we connect to ourselves and also to others through empathic listening, through empathy? How we can do it so that we can really understand each other and we can really hold the space for our authenticity in our relationships. And we are going to talk about how NVC can enrich our relationships. And also I will invite you to think about your real life situations. If you want to share, you can share them, but if not, you can just, like, while we are going to navigate this, this content, you can also think about your real life situations and connect to them and work a bit on them, if, of course, it's an invitation. And afterwards, we are going to have space for questions and maybe answers. I don't know. Maybe the answers are not coming from me. Maybe the answers are going to come also from you. So it's also an invitation for you to co-create this space. So you can write in the chat your questions, your comments, your reflections. Yeah, so please, it's a big invitation for you to co-create this space. Yeah. So let's start. Like, why this empathy? Why nonviolent communication, from my perspective, is that important? It is because I can imagine that we all humans, somehow, maybe not all, at the same time, I think that most of us actually can relate to our need for relationships, our need for connections, for really nurturing connections. And I can imagine that we all humans know it, and at the same time, nowadays scientists are trying to prove it, that it is that important to really co-create safe relationships. And one of the scientists that I really like following is James Cohen, who developed a theory called social baseline theory. And it's stating that the human brain is fundamentally wired to expect social connections, and that these connections, these relationships, serve as a baseline for our both physiological and also emotional regulation and well-being. So I understand this theory as a proof that to have and to really presence well-being, both physical and emotional, in our lives, we really need to have safe connections, really nurturing connections. And what he said is that our natural habitat is not actually a house or an office, that our natural habitat is another human being. This is where we feel safe, of course, if another human being is safe for us. Without that, our nervous system can be triggered and well-being cannot be achieved actually for us. So that's why it is so important. And nonviolent communication is one of the ways how we can take care of those relationships. So yeah, so why and so what is empathy and how can empathy support us? And I would like you to think, how do you understand the word empathy? What does it mean to you? What is empathy for you? And you can write it in the chat, or if you want, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Maybe it's to align with someone emotions and to
Yeah,
understand them.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes, to align with someone's emotions and to understand them. Yes, it's one of the ways how we can understand it, yeah. And with empathy, there is some confusion because there are different dimensions of empathy and there are different definitions. So one of the definition and the way how we can understand empathy is that it is actually feeling what other people feel. It is stepping in someone else's shoes. And this kind of empathy is called affective or emotional. When someone is, for example, crying and we also get touched and we are also crying, or someone is laughing and we even don't know why, but we also start, smiling, yes, and feel joy in our bodies. So this is also empathy, and the other way of understanding empathy is something to what you said actually is understanding. It is more cognitive. So I don't feel what you feel, but I do understand, and I can give space for you so that you can name it, so you can understand it also by yourself. You can acknowledge it. And also we have something like behavioral empathy. So we do different things for others. We support others. Yes, we are there for them. And in nonviolent communication, empathy has its own definition. So it is giving our attention, our presence to another person, but also to ourselves, because we can be empathic with ourselves, by either silently or out loud, verbally, guessing their feelings and needs regardless the content of what is being said or done. So even if I don't like the words that I'm hearing from another person, even if someone tells me, Paulina, I can never count on you, I don't like this sentence. And at the same time, with empathy, I can still try to guess the feelings and the needs of the person who is saying this to me. I can try to guess things like, oh, I'm wondering, are you feeling irritated? Maybe you need some support. Am I right? So we are checking, yes? So we are giving the attention to another person and we are trying to guess, we are trying to imagine what do they feel and what do they need, and we don't necessarily need to feel the same. We don't have to. Even it's risky to feel the emotions of other people because it is easily for us to get overwhelmed. And also, it is actually quite impossible to feel exactly what other people feel because we are so different. Yes, everyone, we are so unique, and even the situations that are a bit similar to each other, but still we have different feelings, we have different needs in those situations. And please, you can write in chat how do you react to this definition. And there are three key qualities of empathy in nonviolent communication. First one is our curiosity. So we become curious. We don't claim that we know better, but we become curious. We are trying to really connect and to check. So we are not diagnosing others. We are not telling them what they feel because we are older or because we have passed through similar situations, but we are really curious, and we are also curious about ourselves, about our emotions, about our needs. The other quality is presence. So we are fully, as much as it's possible for our attention to be here and now and to really connect, to give the attention to another person. And also it's acceptance. So we are not trying to correct. We are not trying to take the other person out of their feelings because they feel, for example, sad and we don't know what to do with sadness. So it is not about this in NVC, it is about accepting and seeing and acknowledging what is the truth, what is alive in another person. So this is how we understand empathy, and let me check what's in the chat. I'm really curious. Feeling of another, deep connection, yes. Ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. Yeah, might be also. That's how you understand it. Yeah, thank you. Yes, so this is one more time Dr. Marshall Rosenberg, who developed nonviolent communication. Sometimes it is called as empathic communication, or affective, or constructive, or the language of life, or the language of heart, of giraffe language also, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about why giraffe. So this is a process, a communication process, and its aim is to support dialogue between people and on a bigger scale to build, to co-create societies, communities based on dialogue, based on empathy, on respect, so that we have space to take into account the needs of everybody. So this is the intention, at least to take under consideration, because maybe we cannot fulfill the needs of everybody, but at least we can make an attempt to take them into account. If you're more curious, you can go on the webpage of CNVC and learn more about Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. Yeah, Wanda, thank you, exactly. Yeah, so that's the graphic in which, in Empathic Way Europe, which I also co-create, it's a team of 4 people. We are sharing nonviolent communication mostly online. That's the graphic through which we were trying to somehow show the whole dynamics of nonviolent communication. So as you can see in the center where the heart is, there is a connection. So the main purpose is to connect with ourselves, with others, with a bigger group. So this is the biggest intention. And it is supported by the 4 components of nonviolent communication, which are observations, feelings, needs, and requests. They're supposed to support us in this connection, the 4 components. And we can use them in 4 different dimensions. The first dimension, and at least from my perspective, the most important, is self-empathy. So we are connecting to our feelings and needs. We are self-aware. We are conscious about what is alive in us. And also the other dimension is silent empathy. We are not always asking other people about their feelings and about their needs, but we can connect and just acknowledge, yes, there is a person that is going through some emotions. And also we can use the 4 components to receive other people with empathy, and also we can use them to make an honest expression and take care of our boundaries, take care of our needs also. And our presence in NVC is here and now and as it is, and we are accepting that the life is dynamic and it's not static. So we are accepting that every moment is a good moment. It's an opportunity for us to connect. So this is like from an overview on nonviolent communication. And this is another picture of Marshall Rosenberg, who said, connect before correct. Before you blame someone or yourself, before you judge, before you label, before you give an advice, before that we connect to our feelings and needs. And how we can then listen with empathy. So when someone is sharing something, first we can listen in silence without words, being present, really like holding the space for another person. And I know it can be quite challenging in our times when there are so many tasks, so many things happening in our lives. And that's why this silence, this presence is a precious gift that we can share between each other. That's how we can care about each other. So being silent, letting the other person to develop their thoughts and their feelings and their needs, by being present. Also, we can give empathy, we can listen with empathy by making sure that we really understand what has been said. We can also paraphrase, we can clarify, we can even repeat sometimes, say like, oh, so I heard you saying this and that, so we can really try to connect and check whether I'm really getting what you are trying to deliver, what you are trying to tell me. We can also ask questions, but only those that support the speaker. And also we can do it by guessing feelings and needs. For example, I wrote here an example for you like, oh, are you feeling angry? Yes. Respect is important for you. Am I right? So we are checking, we are not diagnosing, yes? So here we would like to give you a short demo, and I ask Sylvia to share some situation, and I will pin us, and I will try to do my best to listen to Sylvia with empathy. And yeah, we are together right now. Yeah, so Sylvia, is there anything that you would like to share here with us?
Well, yes, I have chosen a topic that is pretty light and understandable somehow, I hope. But it's still a little bit emotional for me that I didn't go into it, so I will be happy um, to explore that. Um, so the situation is that I live in a house in a place that we living like five families all together in one building, and my garage is on the other side than most of the neighbors, and it's like a place outside of almost town, so there is like a road and then there's entrance and then there is my garage. And recently, my neighbors started to kind of close the bar that is not necessary to close,
Mm,
because they afraid of people entering that
mm,
part, which is not ours. It is still public place, and they close this bar. At the same time, whenever I'm taking my car, I have to get out, take that bar out, and then move, then I get out again. So for me it changed a little bit logistic of using the car,
mm,
and yeah, and it's still not our place, it's still public place, so I'm really annoyed by that. I'm really angry with them, and I don't know how to explain them without really, yeah, I'm a little bit like thinking like how can I talk about this issue with them without being somehow rude.
yeah. Yeah, thank you, Sylvia. So I will tell you what I heard, just to also check whether I really heard everything that you wanted to tell me. You spoke about the place where you live, that you're five families in the same building, and that your garage is like on the side, and that your neighbor started to close like the bar, and through that, every time when you are leaving, am I right? It's every time. It's my thing. What I said right now. Yes, I put it.
No, yeah, every time I'm leaving the house or coming back to the house, I have this additional bar that I have to open and close.
Yeah, and it changed logistics for you. Yes, and
Yeah,
yeah,
because I I have to get out like sometimes 10 times a day, so it really
yeah,
adds my time.
yeah. And you said that you feel really annoyed about that, and I'm wondering if it is because you need some kind of consideration or ease, maybe.
Yeah, some ease, because I have two kids that I constantly bring them here and there, going to the shop. So I'm kind of a working mother of two, and I really need some efficiency at what I'm doing. And they are just people who are not working anymore, and just like, so yes, I would like a little bit of ease at getting out from the house.
Yeah, and you said also efficiency. Yeah, so ease, efficiency. Yeah. And I'm wondering if you would like also some kind of like understanding from the part of the neighbor.
Yeah, I would like some understanding from them, and I would also like some understanding why they are closing it.
Ah, so some clarity. You would like to understand what's happening. Yeah, why?
Yeah, what is the point? Because I like I want this space to be free for other people. If somebody wants to
Mm.
enter, why not? So I
Yeah,
want to understand why we have to close that.
yeah. So I'm hearing that you also care about others. Yes, it's not only about you, it's also about other people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not our private space. It's public space. So why we shouldn't leave it for public, it's like I don't want to take more than I own, like uh, yeah,
Yeah. So it's something about fairness, am I right? Also.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you so much. Are we complete? Oh, sorry. I muted you. Sorry. I wanted to unpin you. I'm sorry. And I muted you. Yes. So yes, thank you, Sylvia. Thank you so much. So in this way, we did connect, and maybe thanks to that, Sylvia will have more time and more space to think. Okay, so how she can actually talk to the neighbor and address those beautiful needs that she shared here with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm. Yes. So this was a little demo of how we can listen with empathy to another person. You can also write in the chat your reflections, any maybe questions, and I will summarize a bit what is NVC, the whole NVC about. NVC can be summarized with those two tiny questions. It is like the key to the heart of NVC. So the first question is, what is alive in you and me? So here I talked with Sylvia, but maybe if we could connect to the neighbor, we can also ask the neighbor, like, what is alive in you? Yeah, so why do you do it? What are your needs behind this action? And then when we have them, when we really connect to the needs, then we can think, okay, so what can we do to make our lives more wonderful? So if you think about nonviolent communication with those two questions, we can summarize the whole dynamics of it. So it's about connecting to our needs, connecting to the needs of the other person, and trying to figure out what can we do to take them under consideration, to find a solution, to find a strategy that will cover, that will fulfill both the needs of mine and your needs. And what blocks empathy? So there are different things, and some of them uh, are blocking for one person, the others can block for the other person. It's not like it's always blocking, but it can. There is a risk, especially when we share judgments and criticism. And check with yourself, how do you react when someone is judging you and criticizing you, or when you're judging yourself or criticizing yourself? Also blaming, like, oh, how could you be so naive, or because of you we cannot do that, cannot go with the project. Yes, it's all your fault. Or comparing, why cannot you behave like others behave? Yes, or interrupting when we really want to share something important for us, or when we receive unsolicited advice, when you need empathy and someone is saying, oh, you should do this or that, or even like moralizing, when I was at your age, or educating, or even silver lining, like, oh, this will turn good, and this will turn a good experience for you, Sylvia. If you only need to look at the positive side of the situation. Yeah? So these kind of things can block empathy. Or threatening, like either you calm down or I will leave. Yes, or like warning, or belittling. It's not such a big thing. Come on. Everyone has that. Come on. People have bigger tragedies. Yes, or people really have problems. Yes, that's not a problem. Or that's not point to be so sad or so angry, or depreciating, making fun of someone, cynicism, sarcasm, or even flattering, like, oh, you can do it, yes, you're the best, or etc. So be careful with those things, because there is a high risk that this flow of empathy can be blocked with them. And maybe you can share now in the chat which of those you really dislike, and make you like withdraw from the relationship, or they make you like rebellious, and you want to tell back something to the other person. So you can have a look at this list and think about you yourself, which of those you dislike. Oh, thank you. There is something in the chat. Yes, I'm reading. It's moralizing, unsolicited advice. Blaming is really triggering. Yeah. Thank you, girls. Yeah. Interrupting and changing the topic. Yeah. Thank you so much. So here I put you quoted giraffe comparing. Yes, thank you, Aishan. Yes. Giraffe, and as you can see at the very bottom near the hooves of this giraffe, there are two small jackals. And I put this this picture here. I used it because some people also talk about NVC as a giraffe language. And why is it so? It is because Dr. Marshall Rosenberg, when he first shared nonviolent communication, when he was sharing in 60s, 70s, more 70s than 60s, he sounded a bit academic, and he really wanted to connect with all the people. He really wanted to reach out to everyone. So he did not want to seem too academic. He wanted to sound really simple and available and accessible for everyone, even those who did not study psychology or are not good at psychology. So he thought about those two animals as being symbols of like two different approaches or two different parts that we all humans hold. And one he called giraffe and the other he called jackal. And he chose giraffe because of their physical features as a symbol of the language of life, of empathic communication. And it's also another introduction for you to think like, why do you think he chose giraffe to be the symbol of the language of life, of the language of connection? Why do you think he chose giraffe? Let me check if you wrote something in the chat. The biggest heart, yes. She has the big, exactly, yes. Yes, so the giraffe in the land mammal, yes, exactly. We have this this definition in the nonviolent communication. I mean, definition, it's not from nonviolent communication, it's coming from biology. So yes, the giraffes are the land mammals with the biggest heart. So this is an example of connecting to the feelings and to the needs of ourselves and also of others. But as you can also see, giraffes have very long necks and they can see the world from bigger perspective. That's why in this giraffe language, we are omitting judgments. We are seeing that the world is not static, that the world is dynamic. That's why we are not using labels. We are not categorizing people in this or that. And so this is also an example. And also this long neck gives this possibility to giraffe to really, in a situation of conflict, to really like see it from the bigger perspective and find a solution that will fulfill the needs of all the parties. And yes, this is the symbol of nonviolent communication. This is the symbol of the intention to really connect to ourselves and to others. Meanwhile, as you can see, the little ones, those little jackals, they are the parts in us, because we all have them actually, that actually do blame, judge, criticize. The worst thing that can happen to our jackals is to make a mistake. When we make a mistake and we are reacting from our jackal part, then we feel ashamed, so we try to blame either ourselves or others. And jackals are living in a world which is seen as a battle. One wins, one loses. And the giraffes can see that the world is full of different possible creative solutions. And we are really sure in this perspective that we will find a solution that will work for all of us. And the trap of learning nonviolent communication at the very beginning is to think that giraffes are nice. And this is not what Marshall Rosenberg wanted to tell us. He wanted to tell us that giraffes are really authentic. He said the words that for me were really appealing. These were the words why I decided to start 15 years ago exactly, to start my path with nonviolent communication. He said that the world is full of nice but dead people, and that depression is the result of being nice. So in nonviolent communication, we are learning how to actually connect to our authenticity and how to express ourselves in an authentic way and still with respect towards others. So we are both equally important. And yes, so while we are learning nonviolent communication, we can sometimes ask each other a question like where to start, yeah? So which path to choose? And for me, that's my perspective only. The path that I would choose is, and let me check what is in the chat. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for me it was also very important, those words. Thank you for your reaction. Also, like somehow we can share reality in this way. So for me, it is self-empathy. The first, if you're thinking like where to start from, for me it is the most important relationship that we have in our lives and the longest relationship that we have in our lives. The most perseverant relationship that we have in our lives is with ourselves. So it is really worthy to take care of ourselves, our feelings and needs, and how we can do it. And I put you here the picture that is quite often used by different trainers and coaches, that this self-empathy is like this oxygen mask on plane. So first we need to put it on ourselves and then on the others. Otherwise, if we are only taking care of others, then it is a high risk of being overwhelmed, emotionally burnout, and actually not connecting and trespassing actually our boundaries oftentimes. So in NVC, we say that we are equally important. That is why this first question of Marshall Rosenberg was, what is alive in you and me? So we are equally important here. But if we want to support others, first we need to support ourselves. So how we can give empathy to ourselves, especially when we are triggered by some difficult message. So we can hear difficult messages through different ears, as you can see, the giraffe ears and the jackal ears. So when we hear a difficult message, for example, lately, it's a real one, I heard from one of my friends who asked me to go out, and I was in the midst of preparing another workshop and getting ready to travel. My friend told me, Paulina, you're always so busy. You never have time for me. That's what I heard from my friend. For me, it was a very difficult message. So we can hear it through the ears that we have installed. Of course, I just put here the picture of mine, having them out so it can be more visible. We can hear this message by, for example, blaming others. As jackals, our inner jackals, they go into blaming. They blame ourselves or others. So while I'm hearing this message, I can go into blaming others and I can think like, it's your fault. Don't be so needy. You could be more comprehensible. You could be more understanding. Yeah, you always ask me to go out when I cannot. Why don't you ask me in the moment when I can? You know, like maybe even I don't say it out loud, but this is something that might happen in our heads. I don't know if you recognize such voice in your heads. Then we are likely to feel anger. We are likely to feel irritation. Do you recognize somehow? Please tell me that you do, so I'm not that lonely here. That I'm the only one who has the blaming jackal. Let me check. Yeah. Right, that I'm the only one, or you also have. Yeah, I'm playing. Okay. Yes. So when we are in this mode, yes, thank you, Asha. When we are in this mode and I speak up, I would say to my friend something like this, like, "Oh, come on, why you're criticizing me? You should be more understanding." Yeah, so it is very little likely possibility that we will have more connection. Yes. So it is about others. Yes, there is their fault. They are trying to manipulate me. They are trying to do something with me. They are against me. Yes, this is this kind of thinking. And we can also, we have this jackal ears. We can also have this jackal ears facing inwards. So we are blaming ourselves. That's more my default mode most often. So I am hearing those words of my friend, Paulina, you're always so busy, you have never time for me. And I am taking responsibility for what I have just heard. And then most often we think that there is something wrong with us, actually, yes? And we feel shame, guilt, lack of hope. This is the self-criticism. So the inner jackal would say, Paulina, you are the worst friend ever. You don't care about your friends, and you're a hypocrite. Like, you say that you care about relationships, and now your friend does not have you. And so this is, so out of that guilt, I will tell my friend, okay, so let's meet. Let's meet. Let's meet. Yes, and then I will buy some gift or prepare some gift, and then I will not sleep for the whole night to prepare my workshop, and I will be overwhelmed, just, yeah, not to feel guilty or ashamed. Do you recognize such voice in you? Yes, sometimes, yes. And it can be, it is not divided in ourselves like that. It is, sometimes a bit of blaming the other person, sometimes blaming ourselves. It also depends on the situation and on the words. And here in NVC, what we are saying that we want, let me check what's in the chat. Yes, yeah, thank you, Agnieszka. What we are doing in NVC, what we are inviting ourselves is to listen to our inner jackals, to really listen to those voices, and deciding to have more choice in our lives, not to act out of them, but yes, to listen to them, and then go a bit deeper. Before I open my mouth, I listen to my inner jackal, and then I am trying to sense my own feelings and my own needs. I am giving myself empathy. This is self-empathy. So we can focus. We can also focus on our body sensations. Our bodies are really wise. They are telling us very fast what is happening in us. So we can feel like in this situation, I felt like, something in my chest, as if an elephant stepped on my chest, and I felt like the heat in my cheeks, and the shame was coming in me, and also there was something in my heart. It started beating very fast, and from those body sensations we can connect to our feelings. Here is the list of the feelings, and I will share in the chat the list with you, so if you want to practice after this session, you can have your own list of feelings and needs also. So I can
Excuse me.
connect. Yes.
Is it okay if I will just take a picture with this?
Yes, please, sure. Yes. And thank you for
Because it can help I can help myself with just looking into it later.
Yes, of course. Yes. And I will also share
If
with
you don't
you
mind.
PDF. You can, please. Yes, please take a picture, and I will share with you a PDF, so it's also available for you. Yes. Yeah. But you can take the picture, sure. Yes. Yeah. And thank you for asking. Yeah. So I felt like shocked, surprised when I heard that, and a lot of pain and sadness. And from that, maybe even a bit of like, I felt some fear in this situation. And then from the feelings, we are connecting in NVC, we are connecting the feelings with the needs, because we say that feelings are actually pointing the needs, are like messengers from the needs. So every feeling that is appearing in us is trying to tell us whether our needs are satisfied or dissatisfied. So my needs were in this situation, my need for connection was not met, my need for understanding a bit, my need for love, and I got a bit like, I felt fear as I'm scared that I'm going to lose the love of my friend. My need for support, maybe also my need for fun, for joy, as I would love actually to be with my friend and to connect. Yeah, so there are many needs that appeared in me in this situation. So this is what we are doing. Yes, we are hearing our inner jackal, but before we speak up, I give myself empathy. So this is this mode, like the giraffe ears facing inwards. I am connecting to my feelings and needs. And it will be easier then for me to even speak up. And before I speak up still, I go one step further. I am trying to sense, to understand the feelings and the needs of my friend. And until I don't ask, I'm not going to be sure what are they feeling and needing. But I can only imagine. Yeah, when they said that, they maybe felt angry, irritated, or disappointed. Because they need for connection. Maybe they need for understanding, for empathy. Maybe they want to meet with me because they need some empathy. Maybe also love, recognition, being seen, to know that they matter for me. Maybe those needs are not being met. And knowing that, I can speak up. And to speak up in nonviolent communication, we are using the 4 steps. And now I'm going to scroll a lot. So please, if you don't like it, you can close your eyes, please, because it can be harmful. So I can use the 4 steps, sorry, more still, just to show you the dynamics, how it can look like. So here you can see the 4 steps. So I gave myself empathy, and then I can receive my friend with empathy, and I can say, oh, so when you're telling me that I'm always busy and that I have never time for you, I'm just wondering, are you feeling disappointed? Are you feeling sad, irritated? As maybe you need some connection, some empathy, some joy. Am I right? So I am checking. So I'm using those 4 components of nonviolent communication to understand what is behind those words of my friend. And I can also express myself with honesty. I can say like, oh, so when I'm hearing those words that I'm always so busy, I have never time, I feel surprised and also sad, as I need some understanding. And maybe now I thought about fairness, as we do meet sometimes. And I'm just wondering if you could please tell me, would it be possible for you to think about some maybe other time, or would you be willing to tell me what's happening for you? Like why you are asking me to meet? Maybe we can find some other way to fulfill your needs. So as you can see, I use the 4 steps to express myself, but also to receive with empathy the other person. Yes, sorry for scrolling, sorry, so please, you can close your eyes if you don't like it, if it is not supporting your nervous system. So this is what we are doing in NVC. And these are the words of not Marshall Rosenberg, but Viktor Frankl, who said that between the stimulus and the response, so for me, between like the thing that is like the difficult sentence and my response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And to have this choice, I need to understand, I need to connect first to my feelings and my needs. And this understanding our feelings and needs, actually, they calm our nervous system. When we understand, when we name our feelings and needs, our nervous system, amygdala in our brain, get calmer. And then thanks to it, we have an access to our prefrontal cortex of our brain, and we are more accessible. We have more ideas how we can connect. We have more understanding. We have an access to cooperation, to collaboration with others. So that's why it's so important. And I will now paste the link, as I promised, to the feelings and needs list. So you can always have it with you. And whenever you receive some difficult message for you, you can connect, you can understand your feelings, you can name your feelings and your needs. And I promised you that you would have a chance also to try it out. So I would like you maybe now to think about your situation. Maybe you can connect to some difficult sentence that you heard. Someone told you something and some strong emotions appeared in you. And it can be something recent or something from the remoter past. Maybe not something, that is like your biggest wound, but something that it is like on the scale from 1 to 5, where 5 is like your biggest life wound. You can pick up something number 2. Yes, that is number 2. So think about some situation that you received, some difficult message. You can even write it somewhere, and now try to connect. What are you telling yourself? What is your jackal show? What is your jackal telling? Are you blaming a bit yourself? Or maybe you're blaming the other person? Or maybe both? Try to connect, try to think, what are you telling yourself? And now, when you think about this situation, try to connect. If it is accessible for you, if it is okay for you to think and about your body, maybe you can think about your body, how your body is reacting to this situation. And then from your body, maybe you want to have a look at this list of the feelings. When you think about this, try to connect, try to find some feeling. And I will just tell you a little tip, maybe, that when you really connect to the real feeling, then you can perceive some kind of relief in your body when we really connect to that feeling, because naming feelings is really soothing our nervous system, our bodies too. And from the feeling, try to think, what is your need? What did you need in that situation, or what do you need in this situation? And now, if it is possible for you, because it's always not always possible, sometimes the messages are so difficult that it is very challenging for us even to think about the other person. But maybe for you it is possible right now. If you can only think, you don't have to agree with that person. If it is criticism, you don't have to. It doesn't mean that you agree with them, and still you can imagine that there are some feelings and some needs behind that message. So just try to imagine, what might that person who told you something feel? And what might they need? In NVC, we say that everything that people say is please or thank you. So even if this is a difficult message, people are making some kind of request in a sometimes tragic way. Yes, not that skillful way. But there are some needs behind those messages. And check, how is your body reacting when you think about that? And if you want, you can share in the chat how was it for you to do this if you did this this practice. And this is where we want to be in NVC. We want to be in this win-win situation. We want to really acknowledge that our needs of both of us do matter. So this is where we aim with nonviolent communication. We also aim to create the power with relationships, because sometimes maybe you also have this experience in your life. I do have this experience in my life of being power overed. So the needs of someone else were more important, or when I power overed others. And I also have an experience of being power under, where my needs did not matter. But also, I have an experience, especially when I was not conscious about, that I did put some other people into this power under situation. So in NVC, the aim is to really create societies, create organizations, to create teams, create classrooms where we can really connect on the human level, where we create power with relationships. So the needs of both of us, of all of us, do matter. So that's the aim. So these are the things that I wanted to share. I thought maybe, but we did not. So before, I just wanted to give you the space also for the questions and answers. But before that, I just wanted to tell you how you can practice that. First, you can practice empathy every day. It's like a muscle. And that's why I send you the list of feelings and needs. You can read different books, articles. You can also connect to the newsletter, to Mudita's newsletter, also to Empathic Way Europe newsletter. You can also watch different videos. I will now share also the link of Empathic Way Europe, where you can find different articles, videos for free. You can also find an empathy buddy, a person who can listen to you with empathy. You can also join practice groups, and you can join our trainings that we are going maybe to offer with Mudita.